Talking with Bob Danley of the Metcalf National Wildlife Refuge. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, good morning, Steve. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is definitely summertime out there,
Yeah.
and you're seeing all sorts of different things happening all over the place with all different types of animals.
Right. Now, obviously, we're in the middle of July, and I think you're all familiar with the expression "dog days of summer."
That's right.
Right now, there's some exciting spectacles to be seen, not specifically on the refuge, but across the street, so to speak, from the refuge directly west is Bass Creek, and the Pine Whites are putting on a show. Thinking for you folks that are locals, you know what I'm talking about, and for you folks that are visiting, it's quite a spectacle. It looks like it's snowing, but those are really a species of butterfly that its caterpillar basically uses conifers as its host plant, which is different from most all other butterflies, and they're very localized. Many cases, you'll get them one place 1 year, and then the next you won't see them for several years. But Bass Creek, for some reason, over the last couple of years, has really been a powerhouse for a pine white display. Now, the other white critter that's still really interesting, and this is on the refuge, is the osprey. They're young, haven't fledged yet, and we have the one platform at the very end of Wildfowl Lane, directly west of the visitor center. It's got two chicks in it. And it's really easy to watch them right from your car. You just park at the corner by the white barn, and you can zoom in on them using your binoculars, your spotting scope, or your camera.
In fact, stay in your car because that acts as kind of a shield, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Steve. That is right on. That is like our tip of the day. Use that car as your photo blind because they don't recognize it as a danger. But as soon as you get out, the human silhouette is pretty obvious to them, and they will fly, and then you'll miss out on some good behavior watching. So these ospreys are really interesting because they're found on every continent of the world except for Antarctica. In fact, up until recently, they were considered, all those different birds were just one species. After some research, they decided that the one that occupies Australia is actually a different species. Very similar looking, but it's now, so it can't really claim to be, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. So.
Yeah.
But they're very interesting birds. They're 99% of the food that they eat is fish. They have specialized vision to actually see. They can hunt from 130 feet up and still see a fish. They actually have a flap in their nasal cavity to prevent water from coming in when they plunge in.
Because they plunge in at a pretty high speed.
Yeah, they can. Well, you would think, fish are pretty fast, and, you're going to have to, and their talon, the bottom of their talons have really a rough surface so that when they grab those slippery critters that they don't wiggle free. Pretty interesting animal. The limiting factor in some places is lack of nest sites. We as human beings have constructed platforms for them here on the refuge. Although they're capable of using a tree, really cool thing in the springtime is to watch them snap off cottonwood twigs to build their nest. So this can still be seen, which is pretty good for the dog days of August, coming into August, I should say. So feel free to come out here, from dawn till dusk. Stop in at the visitor center if you got something cool